And it was built in the 10th century and designed by a chap called Robert D'Oyly, who also designed the old castle in town. Now this area in front of us is all still known as Grand Point. This bridge did fall into not so well known architect, London. And the reason it was called Folly Bridge is because it used to have a wooden folly situated on the far end of it. So it was like a little room with an archway, and it was used by the alchemist Roger May. The ducks still don't hang so that they don't. It needs a bit of TLC, this bridge. Been here since the 1800s. Somebody the railway link just in front of us is the main line to London. It takes about half an hour to catch a train to London.
Like everything that works, they just want to.
Well, I don't think, I suppose they're going to sell the houses.
Yes.
Government has their second homes and people can afford them. Shed just up here on the left-hand side, just as we come out of the lock. And this was an idea that a chap who lives in the houses further down came up with. And he's managed to tap up some of the other house owners, and they've paid in. And what they've got to this project, and what they've got is solar panels all across the top, but a giant Archimedes screw that goes down into the Quaint Osney Island on the left here, and the river does run all the way around it. And it's also prone to flooding.
The ducks quite happy to walk on the roof.
So they do have, in the winter when it starts to look as if it's going over the top here, they've got like sort of giant blow-up sausage that goes up, but quite often the water comes up through the floorboards because it's the water table.
Yes, it's like my friend, what is it, the brain sat.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, that'll be it. Yeah. Well, they haven't dredged this river for many, many years, and it probably could do with it.
Yeah.
It's one of the most expensive places to live in Oxford. So if you can afford the houses, you can afford the insurance.
Well, quite.
And then we've got the yeah, exactly. We've got the old electricity company over on the right here, and this has been going normally for quite a few years. But the naive business school in town have just snapped up, and they're going to turn it into student accommodation. Well, hopefully they'll keep the facade. Many years ago though, when it was up and running, a lot of the young kids used to come and swim here because hot water was pumped out into the river. It was like a heated pool. 70 foot is as long as you can get. That's how many locks are on the canal. That's the way it is. It's like houses, isn't it?
There's a guy involved or a woman involved.
If
there's a woman, it will be.
It depends what you can afford to buy, really. Because you could be looking at a bed like this, the paint job, you're looking at a couple of money. Whereas if you've got a little wooden top like that, I mean, that chap's he built a wooden top on his himself. So you're talking, incredibly different in prices.
And of course, yeah, being able to find time and stuff.
Yeah. Like that. We're just going to go under Osney Bridge, and this is actually the lowest bridge on the River Thames. You do have to duck from the river, Alice in Wonderland. tried the river.
Writing on a map of the tree, why you'd actually need to understand that.
Yeah. It wasn't my strong point, so.
Not really mine either. But I will read it, I'll leave it on that so I can go back to it. There's a thing called Sparks and Weeks that gives you the
We're just going past Weir Cottage over here on the left, and it used to be a weir across here, which in turn each other. And there was always newspaper articles about where they'd been got into fisticuffs. And the Beasleys, where they were a rare breed, one of them got done for murder. And then there's quite a few Beasleys still in Oxford. And they also, one of the Beasleys got caught stealing a goose from Port Meadow and was deported to Australia. But I think the Boston's boys won in the end because they've still got their boatyard here.
Yeah.
For their regattas. So they would literally hang up the boat and the oars inside, and on the roof there'd be fencing, and the students would stand on the roof and use it as a viewing platform. And now some of these barges were really ornate, some of them not as ornate, depending on how rich the college was or how into their rowing.
Yeah.
But there are only 5 of these left now, and the ones that are surviving, they've had to have metal slippers put underneath them. So they just rotted away, yeah. But they are really lovely. And here comes the rain. Much smaller, isn't it? Yeah.
It was a sad day when they said you're not allowed to feed spreads with us.
I know.
We thought we'd been doing it.
Yeah, well, that's what happens, isn't it? Also, it hasn't stopped anyone. They're all still down in the train. They hide up under the trees at the other side. You don't get to see them.
Yeah.
They've obviously come out for you today.
Hello.
They're lovely. They're lovely objects, of course.
Yes, they are. Like a cross, maybe Clydesdale cross. Oh, that one says I'm going to lie down. How are they going to get up?
They are fine, yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's a young one, is it? Yes. Oh, isn't they pretty? Yes, you're pretty.
Put the cows next.
With one of those strange dogs.
So when the sun comes out, it's a bit like the Oxford Riviera down here. And we've got all people swimming in the river and canoeing and parties on the meadow.
Oh, permanent.
Yeah, very easy.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's very, I think we're very lucky to live that. Well, also because it belongs to the Oxford Commoners.
But they've tried.
So they will try and find ways around it, I know.
They've done that up in
They also,
big building.
she chose the latter, the poison, and when she did die, she was buried here at Godstow Nunnery. But the powers that be thought that she shouldn't be buried there because it was consecrated ground and she was a fallen woman. So they dug her up and they buried her elsewhere. But Henry II had the last laugh because he secretly had the ground consecrated where she was then buried.
As you could do it for its game.
Of course you can, yeah.
And you're the head of the church, was it?
At the church in Binsey, and people used to come on pilgrimage from all over the country to drink the waters from the well. Scottish pronunciation.
Yeah, that's right. You're right, Egypt.
Like egret. The buildings were actually, they were entered into a competition for the newest buildings in Europe, and I think they came second or third. The Carbuncle Cup was called.
We were in London, we were there. Amazing buildings, burgers, roads, whatever.
You never see it finished, do you? It's never just ongoing, isn't it? There's always a plane somewhere. Oh, these towers are amazing.
Hopefully. Long swim path.
Nope.
It's warmer now. We were sat in front of that lovely fire.
It just warms you through a bit, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh, look, they're all coming towards us now. There's the grebe as well. Oh, yeah. Ian.
And then we had the builders in, and the builders accidentally knocked the nest. So my mum basically got an old bread basket and put it up there, and they just lived in the bread basket. They were really happy with it. It's from the boatyard here, actually. But you're not allowed to live on them here, so there might be a holiday boat that they take out.
Right.
I can't remember if it's moored in there or not, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I know they've always wished to let me go.
Okay, but we don't mind. We don't mind. As long as you're not like that. We've got some chives and a lot of Ian's getting nice photos. Both me. I like it. Having read my book, whoever wrote it, thank you very much. Yeah, I think it's a bit like I always wanted all my cottages when I used to draw cottages were thatched cottages.
Yeah.
Until I actually stayed in one on holiday with family friends. This is the odd dropping. Oops, she's on her Steermaster or whatever up on the top shelf there.
So they've got views of the river on 3 sides.
Wow.
And then it's joined on to Folly Bridge House, which is like a long let hotel. Old Rampant Bridge that was built in the 10th century. You can see some of the arches, and then we're going to go underneath the fourth arch of Folly Bridge. And that connects the island to the mainland. And then we've got this rather amazing house on the left, which is known as Caldwell's Castle. So with the statues and the railings in the walls. And it was built for a chap named Caldwell in the 1800s. And he came out one night to find two very drunk students throwing his ornamental cannons into the river, and it displeased him so much that he shot one of them. And it went to court, and the judge residing at the time totally sided with Caldwell, saying that if the students had thrown his ornamental cannons in, and it's actually been built on arches over the river, so the river runs right underneath it.
Oh,
It's very nice.
sorry.
This house used to belong to a milliner, so a hat maker, who was also a friend of Lewis Carroll's and Alice Liddell's. And when he wrote his story about your own cow, so that you could have fresh milk in the mornings.
Well, quite.
In their oars on the ground floor, and then they have their rowing machines on the top floor, but more importantly they have their bar.
Good on them. There was somebody out in a boat as well, just to give us an example.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. You come round. Guys,
They're not rowing, they're sculling.
Sculling.
If you use two oars, it's sculling.
Okay. Oh!
So the colleges hold two main regattas a year. They've got the 8th in May and the 12th race called the Bumps. So this is where the boat behind has to try and bump the boat in front. And when you get bumped, you have to concede, and until the bumper, you go into the next heat. And then the overall winner is known as the head of the river. So absolutely hectic on race day, yeah. On race day, absolutely hectic around here. Good though.
So,
Have to not work. No, we do. Yeah, we just they have marshals, and the marshal will tell you there's a race coming in 2 minutes. Can you pull over? So you pull over, and then if you're in the best spot, you get the rowers racing past you, and they are proper athletes. They are incredible, and they cherry pick the best rowers from here to make up the Oxford team, but then go to the Oxford and Cambridge boat race. If you're part of the university and you're a rower, you have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be on the water by 6 o'clock in all weather conditions. It is quite hard going.
yep. Don't cross it.
Opened up just near here, and they basically offered the students an all-you-could-eat option, and they ended up going out of business because the beginning of summer, and 6 o'clock in the morning they sing, but usually people have been out all night. The pub's open at 6 in the morning, and usually Oxford is just full of drunk revellers. And then the next college you can see slightly set back is Merton College. Now they profess to being the oldest college in Oxford, but I think a few of them do, and it's difficult to know who's telling the truth. And it's said that T.E. Lawrence, when he was here at university, canoed down it for a bet.
Yeah.
For health and safety, but I don't think he was very health and safety conscious anyway, was
No,
he?
I don't think so.
Oh, and then back under Folly Bridge.
Yeah.